Okay, hello everyone. This is Sharonda, and this is my podcast and YouTube channel, Magic Mind Medium. So we're going to go ahead and get into the reading for the day. I've already said my prayer. I like to state that this podcast and YouTube channel is for entertainment, informational, and sometimes educational purposes. All right, so we're going to begin with the reading. It's a general reading, may not resonate with you, or it may resonate with you. Just a general reading. All right, so I'm going to proceed with my 7 card tree spread. My 7 card tree spread. All right, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So on tomorrow, which is Tuesday, I will be doing the zodiac reading, and I will be doing a reading on the Latina. I can't remember what the type of music it is. Tahana, I want to say music. Selena. So I will be doing a zodiac reading on Selena on tomorrow. All right, give me 3 more cards. Give me 3 more cards. So I did a couple of readings on her on yesterday, and got some revelation. So I will be proceeding to do a reading on her on tomorrow. So there are some reports that I want to say the perpetrator or the person who ended her life is looking to be paroled um, this coming March of 2025. All right, so if you're able to view the cards, the first card I get is okay. It says my stream has been terminated. All right, so I have the cards. I'm doing my recording, and I've started back to stream. Drop frames detected. Your stream quality may be affected. Hmm. Okay. Well, I will continue with the recording. And looks like the live stream has been dropped for whatever reason. That's totally fine. Okay, the first card I get is the Death card. Death card to the left, I get 10 of Swords. It mentions defeat. The next card to the right I get is 8 of Wands, action. So I want to say that this reading is in relation to the perpetrator um, of Selena. Now, again, I will be doing a reading on tomorrow in regards to the actual case. But I'm going to say is in relation to this reading is in relation to the perpetrator. I don't remember what her name was. I do know she is Mexican and that she was a registered nurse or what have you. She, from reports that I remember, she was the president of the fan base and was in control of donations and monies and things of that nature. And um, as reported, some monies were stolen by way of this killer or perpetrator, and uh, this singer proceeded to confront her about monies being stolen. An argument ensued, and she was terminated, as far as I'm concerned, based on reports. And as a result, this she may have said that she was going to prosecute her or notify the authorities or whatever the case may be. And as a result, this person who was over her fan base ended her life by gunshot. So um, the next card I get, I have news. That's what I feel. It's what I have. Page of coins. Well, let's go back up. The death card, of course, could be biological death. It says big changes and it's time to move on. Rebirth and transformation. So Ten of Swords. I'm going to say that's the perpetrator. I'm going to say card 3 is the one who has transitioned over. So for the perpetrator, I have Ten of Swords, defeat. Complete and painful ending, rock bottom. So this person may have felt as though if you let this out, if you let anyone know, it will be the end of me, right? And acting out of fear, this potentially is, what perpetuated this transition. I have Eight of Wands, action. The Eight of Wands mentions speed, action, quick change, news arise. Yeah, so something lets me know that this possibly was set up in secrecy and they did not realize that someone was watching or someone was close by to report these things. And I honestly feel as though that that is the purpose of media monitoring spirits, because oftentimes people feel as though they're above the law and they can get away with certain things. And to see if who is paying attention or who's around certain things will manifest is what it lets me know. I have the Page of Coins, which has good news. So the Page of Coins mentions a studious kid, new love, volunteer work. I feel as though somebody who may have had an affinity to this person potentially was watching. And oftentimes you'll find that, I've said this before when I did my episode about Jezebel's spirit, right? Sometimes when people are super sensual, sexual, even, could very well be indicative of something that is about to occur. Eyes over here because I don't trust what I am in the midst of, right? To bring eyes or awareness towards a situation. Um, I'm feeling some type of way. I don't know what this is. Um, and so that curiosity or that interest will be someone who can oversee what it is that I'm experiencing. Speaking in second person or even third person, I get the Ten of Coins. This mentions legacy. Leaving a legacy, retirement, and inheritance is what it has here. So I honestly feel as though it's a message behind this whole situation that the perpetrator is wanting to leave in regards to bringing awareness to what transpired. Something gives me the sense that it was something covert that was going on behind the scenes. what exactly that is. Well, I had my speculatory um, insight. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Uh, what I have here is King of Swords, discernment, discernment. Um, so that lets me know that it was guided by a force to bring awareness about whatever the case may be that was surrounding the circumstances of that time. Because this took place, I want to say, what, gosh, 30 some years ago, even. Uh, as a resolution to have Ace of Coins, prosperity. So the Ace of Coins says new job, raise, promotion, investment, new income. So I do feel as though it was to give um, a synopsis about how to monitor um, certain energies, if that makes sense. Record keeping and what have you of certain people who issues and concerns were going unfounded or um, not looked at as relevant or even important, if that makes sense to anybody. All right, so let's get my second seven card tree spread. Again, I will be doing the zodiac on Selena on tomorrow. This is just a general reading in regards to the perpetrator, and it is for entertainment purposes. They kicked off, excuse me, my live stream. So basically, I am recording this, which I will end up uploading it to my YouTube channel. Alrighty. Alright, give me seven cards, seven cards. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Alright, let's scramble the cards around. And let's proceed to lay the cards. So it's something in regards to lovers. I have lovers card to show up here. Now there was some talks of a so-called relationship between this the perpetrator and the one that has uh, went on. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Not at liberty to say, but I do feel as though if there was any attention towards um, this person coming from the perpetrator or the killer, that in potentially this person may have felt some feelings and may have been made to feel some type of way about their feelings, and as a result this transition occurred because of someone not having comfortability with their sensuality or even sexuality, if that makes sense. So, say for instance, if you're around someone that is overly sensual and sexual, and you um, have a hard time with handling those feelings, it will make the certain individuals react in such a way, a negative way, because they're not comfortable with that. Particularly if you have a very religious upbringing, beliefs, and background, right? All right, now to the left, I have luxury uh, for. Um, so I'm going to say that when I did my reading, because I did a couple of readings on this on yesterday off camera, I'm going to say that I feel as though there was a lot of cover up, if that makes sense. in regards to this case. Like it's more behind the scenes than what is being presented, right? To the right, I have the hacker card. So it could be a situation where some media monitoring um, spirits was overseeing this situation to see, okay, what exactly is going on between this person and that person, and can this be is this are they playing on my intelligence, or is it more to it than what it meets the eye? Because oftentimes when we're dealing with the act of jealousy or a jealous person, certain things in their mind appears to be a certain way. So can it be that whoever this person was paired with, this is how it appeared to them, that it was a sexual sensual relationship, but in all essence, this is this may be somebody that's not used to women getting along or looking out for one another, and because of that, feeling left out or feeling um, not getting the attention that they want. This is what perpetuated. Because oftentimes you'll find that um, in terms of female relationships or what have you, when you're dealing with jealousy, the act of jealousy from the opposite sex or a controlling individual, oftentimes women will come against each other. Like they'll create that strife to counteract feeling as though someone may do something to them, right? If that makes sense to anybody. So towards the past, I have fortitude. Fortitude. Let's look this word up. Again, I'm happy to look this word up over and over and over again. Let's look up fortitude. Courage in pain or adversity. Right. So it could have been a situation where um, this person was being controlled and they wanted to shed light on certain energies, if that makes sense. I have strength card to show up as well, and then I have death card to show up again. Then I have the dancer card. So someone lets me know that these are spirits, these are energies. And what does that mean? That means that our thoughts can manifest into the atmosphere and people will presumptively work and sue of our thoughts. And I think this is basically what this situation is a prime example of. When people are wanting to know why do people move and act in such a way, and this is God's way of showing you thoughts. Like this is they are presumptively picking up on what you feel it is. If you have some issues with sensuality and sexuality, that's what it brings that energy in, if that makes sense to anybody. Um, yes. All right, so it looks as though there is some issues. I'm not totally connected, is what that is. Oh gosh. Let's see. Let's turn our Wi-Fi on. That could be why the broadcast messed up. I don't know. Alrighty. And I hate to always bring up sensuality and sexuality, but you'll be very surprised as to how sensuality and sexuality forms our ego and our ideations about ourselves and others, right? You just have to be real about it. All right. It has a lot. It's tied to our egos, right? Our id, how we feel about ourselves, how we relate to the world and others. And that's just the parapsychology in me, right? Because I'm a deep thinker. Not to say the next person is not, but I stay deeply thinking, right? All right, we're going to proceed with the next seven card to get a little bit more clarity. All right, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So I think it was in essence a way of expression. Certain things happen to help formate language, is what it lets me know. Certain things happen to help formate communication. That's what it lets me know. I get three of wands here. Three of wands mentions teamwork, commerce, expansion, and travel. So I honestly feel as though there was some something to do with expansion. Now, in my recollection, I do know that there was some talks or some desire to cross over, into expanding the Tahana um, enterprise. And I think a lot of um, culturally and people who have been there did not want that crossover or that change to occur. From the reports that I got, I have Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles mentions teamwork, collaboration, skill, quality, and craftsmanship. So it could have been a situation where there potentially was some pressure to change or refine one's talent, ability, and capability. The next card I get is Five of Swords, which mentions bullies, theft, violence, abusive relationships. So I feel as though a lot of that energy, it was a lot of ego clashes, um, hurtful things said, hurtful things done. It was just a lot of low vibrational energy. I think, in essence, it was to shed light on how one would act when afforded the opportunity for a enterprise, if that makes sense. Page of Pentacles, the Empress, and Eight of Cups. So Page of Pentacles mentions a patient kid, new job, or raise money news. Yeah, so I think when people have the opportunity to be validated and be heard and be um it changes them, right? So I think that's basically what that was. It was that you start seeing people for who they truly are. Get the Empress card. Oftentimes when I get the Empress card, it's in relation to media, um, expressing something to get out. It says fertility, creation, pregnancy, abundance, good parenting. I'm going to say in this situation, it's media. Like to show how one would carry out certain acts or behavior when there is a crossover, if that makes sense. I get Eight of Cups. Say withdraw, retreat, moving on, abandonment. Exactly. So I feel as though it got a lot of people flustered based on the reports that I remember seeing back then. A lot of people became upset and angry because when you begin to take away from the roots of tradition and you want to introduce um, changes, it takes away from the integrity or the dignity of the art of what you're doing. You become something else. And people begin to not want to trust you when you become something that they're not familiar or used to. That's what I feel this whole synopsis. And I think in turn that helped to facilitate the death as well because we have death court to show up again. All right. Now let's go ahead. We're going to proceed with the Mrs. Cleo's cards. I got two to fall out here. I'm going to say this whole synopsis was more or less like a dream, an illusion. That's what I feel. And this person had a hard time potentially being a younger person with seeing it at that time. For seeing life for what it truly was. It could have been a situation of someone may have been threatened, even. And as a result, was this a sacrifice? Can we say honestly that this was a sacrifice? Well, I will find this out on tomorrow when I proceed to um, do the zodiac on her. So I have the Knight of Swords to show up here. Knight of Swords mentions a fast talking person, lifestyle change. Exactly. So again, that lets me know that this change, a lot of people are not, many people, I'm not going to say a lot of people because a lot is not really a word. Many people can't handle change. Some people are content with tradition, right? Some people don't like change. They don't like growth. They don't like a whole bunch of attention because with attention brings problems, right? We have Wheel of Fortune. Um, a good fortune and turning point, gambling luck. Right. So I think the good fortune card, I mean the Wheel of Fortune card is what I'm meaning to say, is indicative of risk. Like I think the whole synopsis is risk and taking risk and afraid to take risk. I have the High Priestess card. Secrets, mystery, intuition, trust yourself. So something lets me know there was a lot of religious input and influences in this situation is what it lets me know. You know, feeling ostracized, feeling disgraced. I have King of Swords here. King of Swords mentions an intentional leader, strategic thought. It's what it lets me know. I have Queen of Staffs here. Queen of Staffs says a feisty person, confident, self-assurance. I have Queen of Cups here. So something lets me know a lot of it was by way of leadership. Just saying, leadership, feeling of wanting to be in control. I feel is the main thing. A lot of this had to do with control or lack thereof, if that makes sense to anybody. Now, the Queen of Cups mentions a nurturing person, healing support. Right. A lot of this, many of this has to do with control or lack thereof. I get a little bit of straddling the fence, if that makes sense. This is what energy that I'm picking up, straddling the fence based on these cards. And what does that mean? I'm saying one thing, a confusion. Like I'm saying, this is what I'm picking up. I'm saying one thing, but then when it's lucrative or when it's financially rewarding, okay. But then when those spirits come at me, I don't switch back. Like turning on and off, on and off. This is what I get with the energy here. On and off type energy. Like I'm for you, and then those energies come in, okay, I'm not for you. So this is the sense that I get in this reading right now. It's more or less like on and off type energy. I get the chariot card here as well. Let's see, the chariot card, action and change, a journey. So yeah, so I think that right there is my confirmation. There was a lot of, it was to show certain spirits how they'll say that they're for you, but during the test of time, you'll find them out. You'll find out how they're not for you, if that makes sense. Certain energies. In other words, they're not going to be for you. Is basically is what I'm picking up on. This could be the perpetrator. This could be the actual departed. Like, yeah, they'll say that they're down for you and they're for you, but let this happen and you'll find them out. That's what I'm picking up right now, um, in regards to this particular rating. In other words, don't be so quick to fall for everything that presents to you, because they'll say they for you, but when it's all said and done and they are in fear, they're not willing to stick their neck out on the line for you. That's what I'm gathering. Okay, I get karmic or relationship. I get Native American at the bottom. All right, and I have a couple of cards there, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with those. All right, so I get transportation. Something lets me know it's something involving transport. Because when I did this reading off camera, some things was going on in the back end, and we're gonna see if that comes out on tomorrow when I do her reading. As a matter of fact, let's pull up her zodiac. I'll go ahead and do that now. Oh, let's see. Let's pull up her zodiac. What is her zodiac? So that way I would know. Okay, she was an Aries. So we're gonna which is a fire sign. So we're gonna talk of that on tomorrow. That's gonna be the zodiac that I do for tomorrow. Get finances. So something lets me know it was finances. Something financial related, or what have you, had a lot to do with finances, if that makes sense in the body. Get spirituality and religion. I've said this before, I said this earlier, that I feel as though the religion or belief had a lot of influence on how we interact with our colleagues, family members, friends alike, right? If we are taught that certain things are not appropriate or a disgrace, that we are being controlled, if that makes sense. The next card I get is galactic. So I feel as though it was a lot of energy, negative energy, influx of energy that was infiltrated in um, to influence this transition, is what I'm getting at. I'm not going to necessarily say that they told them to kill or even sacrifice this person, but I'm going to say it was a lot of influence. All right. I have Native American here. I think this was coming from energy, if that makes sense to anybody. You know, I've spoken about this before. Do I feel as though I'm going to say that in this case, this is a generational curse, is what I'm going to say. Hands down. I don't have to pull out the spirit board to know that. I can just tell you that wholeheartedly. This is a generational curse. And when you're dealing with a generational curse, the people will begin to mimic or even take on impressions of energies of family members from time ago. And when it's time for that transition to ensue, they will begin to see it. They would act in such a way, they would take on impressions apart from their own. I can tell you that wholeheartedly is what I can tell you. And this is, look, I don't think two people pay attention to my podcast. I'm mostly watching my podcast over and over again to make sure I'm, not saying one thing and then coming saying something else. Right. Yes. So I can tell you wholeheartedly this is a generational curse, is what I can tell you. Hands down. All right? Hands down. I can tell you that wholeheartedly. All right, let's go ahead and proceed. Let's see what cards it gives me. Because you will see a lot of this energy is even in, our culture. And what is our culture? African culture, African American culture. I get recording, announcement, expression, revealing. Right, right, right. So I think it was to show certain individuals around that devices, communication tools such as phones, computers, TV, even anything that we use to retain information is a distraction piece of spirit. Some things are just in you. You don't have to call no one on no phone in order to get revelation about things. If God wants you to know something, He'll put it within. And I think that's potentially what this whole synopsis was. It says, knowing they fucked up, excuse my French, I'm just reading the card as they may. I think now, as they have gotten older, that revelation has come to them. Gosh, maybe they are playing on us, right? I have sexual protection. That's what it indicates here. And I have insecure. I showed there was some insecurity around or what have you surrounding this case is what it lets me know. Um, and now looking at things here, what, almost 30 years later, oh my gosh, it feels so damn foolish. Right. All right, let's get the manifestation cards. Again, this podcast and YouTube channel is for entertainment, informational, and sometimes educational purposes. All right, so let's proceed. Yeah. Sometimes it takes going through life and when you don't want to listen, you're impulsive, you think you know it all, you proceed to not have respect for people, older people even. And sometimes you just have to live and learn. That's just the way life works. And I think this was a case such as that. All right, so I have the Magician card. So the Magician card, when I get the Magician card is in relation to God. God being the illusionist or the magician, if that makes sense to anybody. It says focus, creativity, turning visions into reality, inspire action. Exactly. So turning visions into reality. In other words, things that you thought you knew, it takes time to get a higher sensibility as to what that is. The next card I get is reversal. So, I honestly feel as though revelation has come to this situation and I'm not, because I feel as though a curse is a curse regardless, right? But the reversal is how you learn in the midst of the curse, how you can inspire in the midst of the curse, because the curse is already put, how you can learn and educate in the midst of the curse. The next card I get is the Sun. So I think illumination is coming for many individuals regarding this situation and just about every other situation that has that same similar things. I have remembrance. I think this is in relation to this person. Keep my name in remembrance to shed light on spirituality belief systems and things of that nature. I have door of dreams. So for some of you who is surrounded in this situation, I do feel as though this person has come to you in dreams and may continue to come to you in dreams to inspire you and to enlighten you about life. That makes sense. I have Ascension. Again, I got to look this word up. All right, so Ascension. What is Ascension? The act of rising to an important position or higher level. So I think right now, with the advent, not advent, but with the coming about of this parole of the nurse or the perpetrator or what have you, um, it's a higher ascension, a higher knowing. I get the key. Some things will come to those. I think it's going to open up the door of dreams, is what I feel. It's going to open up a door. It's going to shed a light on some things, is what it lets me know. It's going to open up a gateway, a door of knowledge and capability and understanding, is what it lets me know. I have the tomb here. The tomb. I think this is this person. There needs to be some type of remembrance or commemoration around the person that has departed, tomb or gravesite or whatever, in remembrance of her. Okay, because I think it's going to be some revelation that's going to come at this time. That's what it lets me know. And it will show you how God will. I get the synchronicity card to show out. It will show you how God does when we're doing some things that are not favorable, how God has to come in and change the trajectory of things when we're not doing things that are favorable. So it source is letting me know this is why we try to preach being quote perfect, because when we're not and some things are unfavorable, how God has to allow negativity to come in to deceive the truth. So that's basically what it's just let me know just now. Things, if we're doing some things that are not favorable and we're preaching one thing, how God has to allow contrariety. Because if he cannot lie and he has to stick to his word, well then contrariety will have to come in to cover what it really is, if that makes sense to anybody. I have time. So time, it is the time. I think this is what source is wanting to be conveyed. This is the time. I have embrace. I have openness. Right. I think some things are going to manifest about that time. I have value. Twin flame. You'll begin to see. I think this is what is wanting to be conveyed. You'll begin to see by way of synchronicity, a commonality amongst those who are potentially walking down that same path, because that's essentially what the curse, quote unquote, is when there is a recycling of energies that looks to, you know, do some of the same similar things. I have attract. It wants me to know that the singing is a hallmark. The underlining thing, we're going to get into that tomorrow as to what the message was, right? All right. And then we have marriage. All right. So that is the reading for today. Speaking on the perpetrator of the demise of the singer, Tahana singer, Selena. And on tomorrow, I will be doing a zodiac reading on Selena. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day.